looking like she's suffering.
Yeah, that climb sucks.
And joining us
Can
here in
confirm.
studio, second place finisher, podium for the second year in a row, Mr. Chris Myers, putting together the season of your career so far, bro.
So
Congratulations.
far,
Good job,
we'll
buddy.
see what we can do next
Yeah.
year.
All right, so before we get started, am I remembering things accurately that you said you might go to Templier next month?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm definitely going.
Heck yes.
Cool.
Okay.
We were
So-
trying to figure out what this might be a bridge to, and there's nothing in Ultra Sign Up, and so we were like, okay, there's definitely a race coming up, but what is it?
Well, the Templier made a little post with a collage of all the top men, and I'm very small and stuck in the top right corner. Yeah, that. Yeah.
It tracks. It tracks with your kind of team motto. I think,
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. We're just little guys out here.
Yeah. All right. Well, talk us through the season before we get to today's race. Obviously, you were the sort of story of Black Canyon. Third place, you had a great tune-up at Gorge Waterfalls, and you ran a really sick 15-18 debut at Western States. Second place here today. In context, you must be pretty proud of the season so far.
Yeah, it's been probably the best season of my life so far, and I don't know, it just feels somewhat validating to, continue to have good results, because I like to, if anything, be consistent, and it sucks when you just have bad days, but luckily I haven't had too many bad days, and kind of approaching this race as a training race for Le Templier, because I haven't raced in States. I really wanted to race CCC, but I didn't have my stones. So just trying to like get back into the swing of hurting a little bit, and because if you're racing right, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I needed to do a race that makes me hurt, and also come back to Mammoth Trailfest for the third time.
Yeah. Does it feel good to take a little bit of break after Western States, or were you sort of bitter to not be able to jump into
I was a little
CCC?
bitter.
Yeah.
But it was really funny. All my friends were jealous of me because I was just running around the Alps while they were all tapering. But I was also jealous of them because they got a race, this awesome race with these amazing spectators and these amazing views. But I was still able to preview the entire course, so I guess I got my cake in some regard on my own terms. But I didn't get a race. But I'll be ready for next year with a full course beta.
Let's go.
Yeah, I feel like it's nice to get over there, feel things out. I feel like it can be a very rude awakening to have your first experience in one of those races be more or less your first time over there.
Yeah, if someone told me that the CCC course was a runnable, fast course, I would have told them to shut up because it's 20K a vert. I'm like, how could that be fast and runnable? But then I got out there. I'm like, all right, you got some mega climbs, but then really long, fast descents. I'm like, okay, I see the merit in what they're saying.
Man, I mean, just thinking about it now, it feels like a perfect race for you. And one of the things Corinne and I talked about throughout UTMB week is that it is a mix between a speed and a strength race, between a mountain race and a road race.
Yeah.
And it feels like, you're sort of a mix of that strength and speed type.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find my stride. I'm liking the longer stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say big step up this year from
Yeah.
like going to Black Canyon and then getting that golden ticket and then coming to Western States. I think we historically think of you as like a fast 50K to 80K runner, but a great jump, a smooth jump into Western States, very, very fast, 10th place finish there. Like, given what you just said, like feeling like you're liking the long stuff,
Yeah.
how do you see yourself shaping the next season when it comes to a mix of, 50K today up to that 100-mile distance?
Plus, you already have your qualification for Western States and CCC at this point too.
Yeah, no. So I guess my race schedule is somewhat set with those big landmark races, but I think there were a lot of learning curves going up into the 100-mile distance, and I've only done 200Ks. So I think with me moving up to elevation and me just making more of an emphasis on training harder and being more of an athlete, I think the room that I have to improve is very large. And I finished Western States like happy with the 10th place finish, but also I knew I could do a lot better, and I learned a lot of lessons, and I'm really, really excited to take those into this next year because I feel like I can go quite a bit faster.
Yeah, I feel like 100 miles go one of two ways. It's like sometimes there's this like beginner's luck in the sense that we're like naive to what might happen. And then you go back into it being like, yes, lessons learned, but also like you kind of know what could or could not happen out there too. And that can it's interesting to see the athlete's progression year over year when it comes to showing back up as a student.
Yeah, I just hope I can, perform next year because no one likes to ruin everyone's fantasy free trail.
Yeah, it is a blessing and a curse. But the nice thing is that you don't have to race your way back into Western States. That is a
Yeah.
huge boon to the early season race schedule.
Yeah, I can take my time, train, and book my Airbnbs right now.
Yes,
exactly.
Perfect. Well, rates are low. All right, before we come and talk about today's race with you, Chris, just a quick update to our audience. Obviously, we're looking at F2 right now. Lauren Puretz, who is charging hard, trying to make up that difference between her and race leader Sylvie Abel. We just saw Sylvie Abel suffering on this final bit of climbing on the race course. Last year, MK Sullivan won the race in 5:13. So assuming we're on a similar pace here, we're going to see the women's podium coming in here very soon. All right, Chris, so talk us through today's race. You said it was kind of a training stimulus for Templier. I'm sure you pushed it pretty hard, but it seemed like a solid one start to finish.
Well, I can still walk right now, so I didn't destroy myself, but I like to, under promise over deliver. So I'm like, it's a training race, but obviously I want to run a good race and make myself feel proud. But it was definitely a different dynamic from the previous 2 years, because this year I'm coming at it from elevation, but I'm also coming at it from crazy training, because when I was in Europe, I was doing like 130-mile weeks with 40K vert, and then I would drop down to like 70 miles and I do it like another 100-mile week. So my training's been kind of all over the place, but I just wanted to come out here, hurt a little bit, and hopefully do really well. And then I looked Ultra sign up about like a week ago, and I saw Chad Hall sign up. I'm like, no, this isn't gonna be easy.
You were hoping for like a smooth
I mean, like every other year it's been pretty stacked. I'm like, oh my gosh, is this like a non-stacked year? I can actually do it like a training race. But it was nice to be competitive. But from the gun, Chad and the other guy, just Adam, they took off, and I was like, well, it's gonna be a race for second place probably, unless they both just stay in it, because I mean, it's just over 50K. My watch clocked in at 32.6 miles, so there's a lot of race left. So I was like, all right, anything could happen. But pretty much the whole day I had Cole Watson behind me, and I saw him pull out his poles. I'm like, Paul Watson. Yeah, I just, when you start running, you kind of have like shower thoughts or weird mantras in your head. I just kept thinking, Paul Watson's coming to get me.
So funny. Aid Station Fireball coined that in the chat too. We thought it was very creative.
Well, I thought of it first, guys. So. It was on the first climb up the ski lift. Anyway, it was really a different dynamic. Just the previous years I've kind of ran from the back and tried to move up places, but I more or less stayed in third to second, and at one place I was in fourth. And I just tried to make my move on the dragon's back and didn't really hike a step of that, and just ran the whole thing. And then I'm like, all right, if Cole's still behind me, I'm gonna run stupid fast down the road, so he's got to run faster to catch me, to give myself a cushion. And then around like mile 23, around like 7 bridges, I just had like a low moment. I was like, I don't want to run right now. I have to do more uphill. Yeah, and I wasn't really like eating as much because I mean, maybe it's a dumb tangent, but I got food poisoning in Europe, and it was a day after eating like only gels. So I've just been like, I don't know if I want to eat gels right now. But I rallied, and I was taking like the tiniest sips of my gel, and then I kind of like felt better. And then I got to the last aid station, and then I got a basically impromptu pacer, just like Gorge, with the live stream down the last few miles. And I was like, I'm gonna try and drop the live streamer. Because that's what I did try doing to you.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun because you get a little pacer.
Dude, you almost cleared all those steps.
Almost. I got the last one, then my foot just slammed down.
Yeah, we saw that. Then we also saw you fake a cramp for a second.
Oh yeah, I was making fun of Eli Hemming for his little break at
OCC.
Yeah, OCC going up with Fisher. Because Tabor was right there. I'm like, oh, my head's too hot. I can't
we saw
run.
the Eli Hemming arm swing as well too.
Oh yeah,
we were appreciative.
Gotta do
of those moments.
the Hemming arms.
Yeah. Well, dude, congratulations! What an awesome season!
Yeah, it's been really fun.
What a great test piece ahead of the final grand finale of 2024.
Like we're gonna need to play some fantasy for Templier, given how good that field's gonna be.
I'm sure we are.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Meyer, dude, thanks for coming in studio. Congratulations. Recover well. And 12 minutes faster than last year too.
Yeah, and I hopefully didn't get COVID this time.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Hope not.
Unless
what I can knock on. Yeah.
Not social distancing here in studio, but
Yeah, I mean, this is about 6 feet apart from me.
Yeah, you're safe.
Yeah,
You're safe.
safe from you
travel
guys.
travel home safely,
Thank you. You too.
and we'll be following along.
Second place finisher, Chris Myers in studio. Big round of applause.